All right, welcome gamers to One More Game podcast, episode 21. Today is the 7th of August, 2022. I am your host, theStroke, and I'm here with my good buddy Swiftmida.
Hey, buddy.
And ImPickleMatt.
Hey, we're proving that we're not vampires by podding in the daylight this time.
Yeah, the sun is out, and it hurts my skin. Did you get sunburned inside?
From too much World of Warcraft, I think, off your screen.
Yeah, welcome everyone. If you're wondering why we're here early today, I've got some big things to do tonight. I'm taking the kids and the wife to Frozen the musical. So
he's not married. He doesn't have kids. He just loves Frozen.
I'll be singing along with the songs that I've heard 15,000 times, and
you gotta do it, dude.
Dad's
They're
out
good
there.
Songs.
They are
Let's
good.
Be honest.
I mean,
dude, what's with Frozen? Like, it's kind of been a big thing for a long time. People just need to let it go.
Oh my!
Oh gosh.
Well, this will be the last week that you guys will be able to hear PickleMatt on the show, and
that's pretty good though.
Yeah, that's good. Dad, he's a dad with the dad jokes. What's been going on? How's your week, boys?
Mine was good. I went to the mountains today to cool off from the desert heat, and then worked a normal week. Got a little bit of video gaming in. It was great.
Nice. Woodball says he's leaving the chat based on that dad joke, but
I get that.
Yeah, mine was about the same. Flew 3 times this week. Golfed yesterday, despite it being 106 degrees. We really, here in Phoenix, we really try to take advantage of the cheap prices because nobody else wants to golf. So golf gets really less expensive
when it's
in the summer.
When it's 110 degrees outside. Yeah, I wonder why.
Yeah, when you're chugging 6 water bottle, big water bottles every 9 holes because you are sweating so much.
Dude, that sounds brutal. Yeah, my week was it was all right. Just hung out with the family a lot. I got my official word that I'm being recommended for separation from the Air Force, so that'll be anywhere from 2 to, you know how the Air Force works, 10 weeks from now. So it's on the horizon. I'll be a civilian nigh.
Oh, that's actually a lot closer than I was expecting.
Yeah. I've been waiting a while. Last time I flew was September of last year. So
yeah,
I'm not sure what to do.
I know you've been kind of waiting for a while, but now that they give you the word, it seems like it happens pretty quick.
Yeah, that's how it goes, right? It's like, all right, wait. Yeah. Okay, you better get your shit together and get out of the Air Force. Oh, I hope you know what you're gonna do in life.
Don't they give you the tax class where they try to teach you how to be an adult?
Yeah, they do. I did that. It's all online though because of COVID. So
that's awesome.
Cool. All right, gents. In the chat or listeners, thank you for joining us early if you're here live, and thanks for listening and your continued support throughout the week. So kind of be a quick down and dirty fun episode, but we won't belabor it too much. I think we're going to try to start modifying the podcast to maybe be a little bit shorter, but you let us know at OMG_podcastGG on Twitter and Instagram what you think of the length of the podcast, and we're always here to kind of tailor this towards your guys' experience. But with that, we'll get into the news for the week. All right, some cool stuff here. So Best Buy is hosting a massive sale for gaming, tech, and entertainment products. So this goes from October 14th or through October 14th, and you'll get discounts on anything from gaming. August. Why do I keep saying October when I read?
When 2 episodes in a row, you said October instead of August.
Yeah, that's weird. Yep. So get some discounts, games, accessories, monitors, laptops, Stream Deck, no Steam Deck. I don't know, TVs. What are you guys in the market for? What would complete your tech?
I need a new. I'm actually kind of excited about this because I'm going to basically go on base and see what TVs are better because obviously on base we don't pay any tax, so it's probably a little bit cheaper depending on what the discount is at Best Buy. But I need a new TV for the loft upstairs because that's what I'm going to kind of make my gaming station
entertainment area.
Hang a new TV. put the PS5 up there so that I can play when Shannon wants to watch TV. Put the Xbox One up there, my Nintendo 64, Super Nintendo. It'll just be a full up gaming suite.
That's
Nice.
awesome. I'm coming over to your house. Yeah, I got to
Yeah,
get
dude.
I got to get a washer and a dryer because we're moving here soon, and then I'm in the market for a new TV as well.
We also need a washer and dryer. Ours makes so much
Yeah.
noise; it's brutal.
I got to get
Wow.
a TV mount though. So they make these TV mounts that go above fireplaces, so you can lower the TV down, both like to the fireplace level. Because I absolutely hate houses in Texas, or they're never built to have a TV in the living room. And I hate looking and craning my neck up like I'm in the first row of a movie theater. So I got to get that TV mount.
So you want the TV where the fireplace is?
Well, that's the only place to put it in our new house because they never built those houses with like having a TV in them in mind.
I'm
So
confused.
it goes above the mantle, and then
Okay.
you like pull the TV down, and the TV on the mount goes down when you're watching TV to a lower position,
and then you put it back up. I see.
Yeah.
So,
And then you
so
push
you
it back
don't
up.
you don't have the fire on at the same time, I'm imagining.
I think that's a bad idea. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I was trying to think of anything that I would snag up. Maybe another PlayStation controller so I can play other games with
I
people.
do need another one of those as well. Yeah.
You got to get one of those cool colors. Those colored ones are awesome.
Yeah.
Savage brought, when he drove down from Nellis, he brought his like ruby red one, or I don't know if it was ruby, but it was red. It looked pretty cool.
Yes.
Or get that Fall Guys special edition. Oh no, that was an Xbox.
Yeah, we talked about Xbox last week. Cool. Well, get over to Best Buy if you want to get some. Dude, do you guys buy anything in store anymore from Best Buy, or do you just order online?
I go to the
Buy
store.
in store.
I like wandering the aisles and just seeing what else I need in my life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do that with Jen
Yeah,
all the
Best Buy.
time. I'm like, can we go into Best Buy? She's like, what do you need? I'm like, nothing, but I just want to.
Just
Nothing.
just my fix.
Yeah.
I just need my
Meander.
fix.
And then, of
Yeah.
course, I
Yeah.
walk out with like a $500 surround sound stereo set or something.
I got my wife
Oh,
her
that's also
Dyson
what I need.
Airwrap there, which like scored me a ton of Best Buy points, both metaphorically and literally, because she really wanted this hair care product thing. The
The
really
Dyson.
expensive, Dyson
Oh.
Airwrap.
Jen get that.
Shan has that as well.
Yeah, exactly. And I got it
Yeah.
from Best Buy, and it was on sale for Total Tech members. So now Best Buy is like not a terrible thing for her.
Yeah. Total Tech is legit. If you're
Love
going to
that.
be buying stuff there, it covers all the, like, you know how they always ask you want a warranty with this? All of that's just included with everything you buy. Anyways,
It's true.
cool.
We should offer Best Buy to wear our old employee shirts
Yeah.
for the stream for free.
Yeah, we'll do a
For
Best Buy
advertising.
episode if Best Buy sponsors us.
Yeah, that's right.
Cool. What section did you work in?
I was customer service, man.
Oh, brutal.
Yeah, it was tough.
I was in cameras, just lying to these
Oh,
old
jeez.
ladies about what are the best. I just hit them with a lot of big words like megapixels and frame rates and
You'll get it. Yeah.
pixel density. Cool. All right. Next on the news, CD Projekt Red, the company that makes The Witcher, that really cool game, Cyberpunk 2077. It's turning 20 years old today. In celebration, they're going to be discounting all of their games starting next week. So you can pick those titles up. So if you don't have The Witcher 3, first of all, I don't know what you've been doing, but snag that game up.
Yeah.
But buy all the expansions because they're all really good. And then, maybe you can pick up Cyberpunk. Apparently they fixed it. But we talked about that. Swift was unable to play it, so who knows?
They said most people are getting to a playable state, but still not, what people were expecting, obviously.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be the first time that game was discounted. I still have it for PS5, and I have not touched it since the release day.
Yeah, we talked about it, I think, in week 2, but it was in the bargain bin on Steam for like $2
Yeah.
at one point.
Yeah.
Cool. Dude, have any of you tried to play the old Witchers? Like, because I never played them before Witcher 3. Did you try to go back?
No,
Unplayable.
haven't.
Don't try it.
unplayable. Hey,
Unplayable.
do they have a Gwent? They have a Gwent card game,
They
right?
do have a Gwent card game, but I think that's free to play, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's free to play, I might have to do that.
Anyways, they probably got some stuff on sale for their card packs if you're into that sort of thing. Moving on, Destiny 2 leak. Apparently, there's a article out there that Bungie is potentially trying to get rid of how their power level or light. You're talking light level, right?
Yeah.
How that whole system works. So there would be a new system that would rely on players' temporary artifact level. So if you've been playing that game, it's that thing that you get every new season in the bottom left-hand corner. And that would provide you with your temporary resettable power-ups, I'm assuming, at the end of each season or whatnot. Did you get any more on this, Swift?
Yeah, so when I looked at the article, it was not only are they, and obviously this is a leak, so it might not be true. It could be true. But what I read is they're trying to get rid of like the light level construct because the grind gets real as far as doing
Right.
bounties to increase your light level. So they're trying to lean more towards just do an activity, a patrol, whatever, and that is how you get a higher light level versus just the bounties and raids and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Probably trying to revamp it a little bit to get people interested again, and I feel like people probably. I felt it was like homework every time I opened the game. I was like, I got to do my homework so I can be high enough light level with the boys.
Yeah, I mean, it brings me back to doing World of Warcraft dailies every day.
And Destiny doesn't do a great job of like explaining that whole process, right? Because you can do it in the wrong order and not maximize your efficiency.
That's what I did with you. I remember playing missions with you, and then I had to go back and replay them because I didn't get the light level for them.
Right. So it's kind of weird, and they don't do a great job. I think Destiny could really use a revamping of like explaining, especially to new players, like how all the systems work. Because you kind of just get in there and you're like, what the F is happening?
And it's not a small thing, right? I mean, Destiny, there's like 8 different planets you can go to. You can do all kinds of different stuff.
Right.
So it's not like a linear thing that is simple to figure out. It's very difficult unless you know what's going on.
Right. Yeah. It could use a little bit of a refresh. So that's good. I'm kind of excited to see what they come up with there. But I think what's coming next in Destiny, like news, I don't know, broadcast is coming out on the 27th of this month, August or October for some people. So check that out. They'll be live streaming, and I think they're going to give you information on the next expansions and all that stuff, and possibly rumors about Destiny 3 and what happens after this story. So we'll see. Cool. Moving on to another game that I love there's a news article out that an Elden Ring player, Lancenfister, has defeated Melania Trump, the game's most difficult boss, without taking a single hit. So Swift, what did you see on this? This dude is nuts. Like, I can't even not take a hit from like a gremlin in the caves.
Yeah, I mean it's really kind of unbelievable in my mind. So they're saying that Melania is like one of the most, if not the most difficult boss in any From Software game.
Oh God,
that they've ever made. So the fact that this guy did this boss without taking any damage, apparently he was using a parry technique. But based on the article and talking to you earlier, it's difficult to parry in this game. It's much more difficult than any other Souls game for whatever reason. I don't know.
Yeah, I think the window of like when it works is much smaller than you would expect.
Yeah, so he used a parry technique. There are some moves that Melania does that you can't physically parry, right? Her like powered up moves or whatever. But he basically ran it over and over, studied the timing of all the moves, could parried when he could, and then was able to dodge the other ones and beat her without taking any damage.
That's insane.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense.
Dude, let's see if we can just describe this a little bit. But I almost don't want to watch this because I haven't got this far. But
when you look at Millennia, I don't play Elden Ring, so I just Googled Millennia in Elden Ring, and it does not look like she would be a hard boss.
Well, there's 2 or 3 stages.
Yeah. I mean, the beginning looks
After the first,
whatever, but look how he's parrying her every time. Like, no way, no shot.
yeah, and after the first stage, she turns into like an angel, basically. So she's flying around the map versus just being on the ground.
Okay, that looks kind of crazy. Anyways, kudos to that guy. Why do all the like crazy Elden Ring streamer gamers have their characters wearing no clothes? Am I missing something?
Maybe it's to
think
like
it's just
see more. Like
Yeah.
maybe it blocks something that you need to see. I don't know.
Hmm.
Or maybe they think it looks cool.
Well, cool. Congratulations, Lance and Fister. You are more of a gamer than I will ever be. I mean, think about it. The game's been out since what, February? Something like
Yeah,
that.
it came out in February.
And he
Big
just
Eats
did
said-
this.
Big Eats in the chat said, "You do not need armor if you do not take hits."
I guess that's
Well played.
true.
Oh.
Yeah.
Also valid.
Naked Angel, welcome to the chat, Zarisk. Let's see. All right, so that kind of wraps up the news for the week. You guys got anything else happen in your lives that you want to talk about? Gaming?
Nope.
I did see an article about there was a decline in video game spending in Q2 compared to Q2 in 2021, but I don't know. I think it kind of makes sense with like COVID was going on in 2021, so people were trying to, entertain themselves at home, and then you also had game developers staying home, and I think it's been kind of a slow year for video games in general, especially this summer, like it normally
Yeah.
is. But
Yeah, that makes sense. COVID, everyone was inside gaming, and I think people are kind of starting to get wise to the little tricks that game developers are using to get your money with loot boxes and stuff like that. So,
hey, speaking of which, there was the other article where Blizzard is going to potentially release $45 Overwatch 2 skins, which just made me laugh.
yeah, if you didn't have, if you're not tracking that, we saw an article where there was a dude getting kind of surveys about. They were sending out random surveys to players on what they would be willing to spend on different in-game cosmetics, and the mythic skins were purportedly being questioned if they could sell them for $45 for an in-game digital item. So
It's crazy.
Are you guys in or?
Oh yeah, I'll be buying
Hard.
all of those for sure. I love
Yeah.
Blizzard and I just love supporting them.
Yeah.
I'm getting kind of tired of them like catering to these, I'll call them whales, like people with just tons of money that don't care about it. And then all
Yeah.
of that content is essentially locked behind a wall that you would never pay for because it's financially not a good decision. But whatever.
They make it free for the rest of us, I suppose.
As long as you want to look like a scrub.
That's right. Baseline
Legal-
character in Fortnite.
Zara says League of Legends skins are already close to that price, so we'll definitely see some people buy that stuff, but whatever.
Eesh.
That's crazy.
How many of those skins do you have, Zarisk? Go ahead and leave it in the chat. Cool. All right, guys, let's get into the games radar for the week. All right, we got a couple of cool ones to check out for you. Swift, why don't you go ahead and start off?
Cool. So, there's two really for this week. We'll obviously continue to update the following weeks, but starting off 2 Point Campus, it's kind of a tycoon type game where you take over, not a roller coaster park or a zoo, but it's an actual college campus. So you have to basically run the college. The article that I read talks about how you get to a really dark place because you start taking advantage of like your workers and the students because you just want to make money. So apparently it induces a I guess greed factor into your brain.
Isn't that
just-
realistic for universities?
Yeah, I mean basically. But yeah, bottom line, you just have to make the facilities look good, I guess, and there are actually classes that you get to monitor and set up, and it looks cool as far as the graphics. I don't know that I really feel like running a college, but then again, I've probably played worse video games.
I'm just trying to figure out
Yeah.
what's going on in this school. There's all the students are wearing full metal knight medieval armor.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. some medieval times thing. No, but
And
Imperial Rhino said
yeah.
Rhino in the chat said 2 Point Hospital is goofy fun. And I remember that game too. These games are pretty goofy, like kind of slapstick humor. The dialogue between with these like cartoon character people are pretty funny usually.
Yeah, I mean, it looks entertaining to say the least. But so yeah, if you're
I played
into
on Game Pass.
these sort of tycoon games, this would be a cool one to check out. It might be kind of fun. Yeah, I think this is just one step closer to us being in like an actual simulation. But
Yeah.
this is exactly how I remember college at the Air Force Academy.
That was it. That was it right there. Dressed
Yeah.
up in funny costumes.
Cool. All right, Pickle Matt, why don't you hit us with the next gem?
Upcoming, I didn't see the release date, but Colt of the Lamb should be coming out this week. It's a top-down animated game where you have to start a cult, collect followers, and kill non-believers.
Jeez.
So Swift, you found this one, and when I started looking at this one, it actually looks really, really fun, quirky, and kind of like a Adult Swim cartoon is what I would compare it to, with all the humor in it and kind of just the baseline mechanics of the game where you're killing non-believers and things of that nature.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
gameplay. Go ahead.
It comes out on the 11th for everybody's essay.
The gameplay
Okay.
kind of reminds me of Hades. You're kind
Yep.
of battling and dodging, and but with more of a lighthearted feel to it. So this has a potential of being real fun. I didn't see if it was on Game Pass or not, but if it is, I'm gonna check this game out because it looks cool.
For the
Yeah,
listeners out there, it's kind of got a cartoony feel, like you said, Hades or Binding of Isaac is kind of another one that it kind of looks like.
Yeah. It looks like you play the cult leader, and the advertisement I watched for it is really entertaining. Check it out. Just got a nice, funny cartoon feel. There's some dark stuff going on here. It's such a perfect contrast with like the cutesy drawings and then the evil. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
I kind of love when games do that. Go ahead.
You have to fight. So you have to build your cult, obviously, first and foremost, right? It says, the trailer is pretty funny on YouTube as far as you can marry your followers, you can sacrifice the non-believers in a temple, but bottom line, you have to basically take care of these people, keep them happy. So I feel like that's kind of one part of the game, and then the other part is like the actual vicious battling. Apparently, you start to accrue points from different people, and then there's 4 bishops, is what they're called in the game, that you have to fight. That flowery looking guy that you saw in the trailer, that's like the youngest bishop, and then they get progressively more and more difficult. So I think it looks really cool, and it has some potential to be really fun.
Yeah, the cult building part seems just like a sinister version of Animal Crossing, and then you got a sinister version of just a action RPG, I guess. But
this looks like if it's a good controller game, it looks like it'd be perfect for Steam Deck for sure.
Oh yeah, yep.
Or Switch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I got some room on my Steam Deck.
Out on everything.
Nice, cool.
Yeah.
Well, if it's on everything, it's probably on Game Pass, I would imagine.
Dope.
Yeah. Cool. So there you have it, folks. Our games radar for the week. If you're looking forward to a game coming out, why don't you go ahead and send us an email, OMGpodcastGG@gmail.com. Let us know what game you're excited about. We'll give it a review, kind of walk you through what we're thinking about this game, and you let us know what you think about it. Speaking of listener emails, we got one this week from a good old friend of mine. So he says, from P. Feezy, gentlemen, I'm an old friend of Strokes and a day one listener. I dig the podcast, fellas. Just got back into gaming, console gaming, thanks to the OLED Switch. I got a PS5 a month after the Switch, and I don't know crap about Discord, but hook a brother up. You can find me on PlayStation Network at blah, 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 blah. Cheers, P. Feezy. Dude, glad to hear from you. I did not know you were listening, but thanks for being a ninja, and thanks for the first time chat last week. And let's game. We'll go ahead and get you hooked up with that Discord invite. And if you want to join the Discord like old Feezy, where can they find us, PickleMatt?
Bonsai Gaming on Discord.
Cool. Search us or send us an email like we just talked about, and we'll get you an invite, just like old Feezy. So there's always someone in there gaming, and you can find new friends to play with and get competitive with, like we will be next week as Bonsai Gaming joins the Nexus Gaming Series for our first scheduled match on Thursday of next week. We'll hit you with the time on our Twitter account at OMGpodcastGG and let you know what time we're going to be gaming, probably streaming here, and you guys can watch us flounder as we most likely lose, but who knows. Cool. All right, gents, you ready to move into the major topic for the week?
Oh, yeah.
Here we go. Let's talk about cheats and guides in the gaming world.
Not Nintendo. Whoops.
Oh, sorry. If you were waiting for Nintendo, Nintendo's going to require a little bit more research because it's almost like talking about a historical event. So we'll get there, but just find your patience. All right, guys, Chat, listeners, how many of you still to this day remember some cheat codes that you can think of from video games back in the day? Go ahead, PickleMatt. What you got?
Oh, no, I do. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Go. I want to hear it. I want to critique you if you're wrong.
PlayStation 2. I never had this game because my parents wouldn't let me play it, but Grand Theft Auto 3, I think. All weapons cheat. L1, R1, L2, R2, up, down, left, right, up, down, left, right.
Nice.
Boom.
And that got you all weapons, infinite ammo, or was that a different one, I think?
I think infinite ammo was a different one.
Yeah. There
R1,
was also
R2, L1, R2 is also on there, but
there was another one to clear your infamy or whatever it's called.
Yeah, the stars.
Yeah, you'd just be in the middle of this like massive shootout with helicopters and cops, and you just do that, and they're like,
just walk away.
This is not the criminal we've been looking for. Sorry, sir.
Sorry, sir.
I remember up, down, left, right, A, B, select, start. That was a good one.
Select, start. Yeah.
Yeah, A, B, A, B. That one's been in like pop culture references, so there you have it.
Yep.
Swift, what about you? Were you ever a cheater, or are you an honest gamer?
I use we'll talk about the Konami Contra Code.
Okay.
Yeah. Up, down, left, right, BA.
There it is.
Back
Contra.
in the day.
Yeah.
But that's about it.
All right.
Dude, you know what cheat I milked every time was the Sims Rosebud cheat for money.
Oh yeah.
I was just sick of like doing it for real. I'm just giving myself billions of dollars.
Dude, my buddy and I, we would play Age of Empires, and we'd set up custom games where we would build this like gauntlet of just like unbeatable stuff, and then we'd use cheat codes. So I remember one was called Proto Man. You just type /Proto Man in the chat, and it would give you a little dude with laser beams, and there was all kinds of codes. Big Mama was like a sports car with a nuclear missile on it. It was crazy. So we would build these gauntlets, and then we'd just get us a bunch of cheat codes and then see if we could mash through it. There was a priest. He looked the same as the normal priest in the game, but he would call down lightning and just destroy this huge chunk of whatever was there. But good times.
Good times.
Yeah, I remember doing some cheating in Half-Life as well. Yep. Cool. Well, let's get back into kind of the first time that cheating becomes like well known, and that was with the Gameshark. So this thing was released originally in January of 1996 for PlayStation and Sega, and you had 4,000 preloaded cheat codes. I remember it came with a little manual that you could figure out what those were, and it was a little bit different than Game Genie because the codes you entered, they were saved on board on the flash memory, so you didn't have to type them in every time like with the Game Genie. Dude, I remember using one of these when it came out for Game Boy, and it deleted my Pokemon save that was like, I had like 129 Pokemon, like almost there, and it glitched and deleted my Pokemon save. So I never used this Gameshark after that.
Yeah. And then you calmly set your Game Boy on the ground and then just smashed it with your foot. because you were sick of it.
Went out and touched a little bit of grass
Yeah.
and started over.
It was that moment that I vowed to play sports and be outside. But cool. Do you guys have Game Genie or Gameshark?
I did not. I remember asking my parents if I could get it, but when you're trying to like ask your parents for money to buy something and it's not directly a video game, and then you try to like explain what this thing is, they're just like, no, that's
that
stupid.
Sounds nefarious.
Yeah.
I didn't have it for the original one for PlayStation or Sega, but I did have one for N64 when it came out later on.
Yeah, I don't even know if like these were necessarily approved by the companies that built the consoles. Like I'm wondering if they were just like a third party kind of thing that people invented, and because you're modifying code. I don't know what kind of legal stuff they had to jump through to make that work, but
Yep.
Well, Big Eat says Grand Theft Auto 3 cheat codes were the best. Get max police and all the guns. He says there was a place called Cheat Code Central. I think you just kind of could look up what the code or the cheat codes were for different games. I do remember using that sometimes. It was kind of cool how back in the day it was like every game was built with kind of some cheats built in. What do you think of the purpose of that stuff was?
I mean, it was like before expansion packs could be a thing, right? Because consoles weren't connected to the internet, and I'm sure game developers like maybe did stuff for fun around the office, or they were like maybe found a game breaking bug or something like that, and it was just like happened to be something like that worked.
Yeah.
And then the playtesting games is kind of I think people don't realize how intricate and like boring playtesting can be, but you have to like make people invincible during playtest to see if you can break certain things. So I'm sure like it wasn't too hard to add those to the game.
Yeah, I'm sure some of those were there originally to like allow the developers to do certain things that they would not be able to do when testing, and then that became a popularized thing. How did all these codes have to be like leaked by someone who works there, obviously? So
yeah, no, my cousin works for GoldenEye developers.
Oh yeah,
no, I'm just kidding. Everybody always say that as a kid.
That's why you always beat me in slappers only.
That's right. My uncle works for Nintendo.
Nice. Well, cool. Yeah, like Swift mentioned, the N64 Gameshark came out on August 1997, and you had the Gameshark 2 that came out for the PS2 in fall of 2000. And they just kept kind of producing them for Game Boy and all the Nintendo platforms, PlayStation, Sega, and Xbox even had a Gameshark, and then you can still get them working on game emulators, so you can still be out there cheating in old games.
Nice.
Such a weird piece of technology, but kind of interesting.
I bet it's weird to think about too, because that company was like on top of the world for a while, and then just like Radio Shack is probably just not anything again.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to. Someone should make a documentary on Gameshark.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. And then we kind of move on to where you weren't cheating necessarily, but you were using resources to figure out how to play the game. So you guys, did you ever buy the old the manuals?
Oh yes.
Oh yeah, I had at least one or two manuals, I think, for Zelda games usually, or Zelda like games.
Just
real
real
the first
quick.
One I remember.
Oh, go back.
Sorry, go ahead. I was just gonna say the first one I remember was, no kidding, like Pokemon Red and Blue.
Yeah, that's
like the magazine type thing.
Yeah.
Where you could find the specific Pokemon and how to catch Mewtwo the right way, and where to find the Master Balls, how to multiply those to 99, because you remember you could type in that cheat code, find one and
missing no.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had to surf you had to do some crazy thing and then surf the coast of Cinnabar Island. I still remember that cheat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's the Gameshark, folks.
Yeah.
If you're listening on the podcast, it was essentially, this is for a Game Boy, but it looked like a Game Boy cartridge, except you put it in, so to speak, and then it had this thing that would allow you to put that whatever cartridge you're cheating from into the Gameshark, and it kind of was one big game cartridge that you cheated on. So this is the one that deleted my. I remember this thing. I want to break this, but it wasn't mine. That was the worst part. It was my buddy's. So I was like, ah! Anyways,
I remember for magazines, I remember it was like a Gameshark, but it was just all the codes printed. So you would like look up the game that you wanted to play, and then you would find all the codes that were in it. It's like a black and white magazine thing.
Oh yeah,
it might have been just like called Gameshark magazine or something like that.
Nice. Yeah, I remember these Prima official guides. I think they might actually still make these, but yeah, just like Swift mentioned, I got most of my original Pokemon knowledge from that red and blue game guide, like how to evolve certain ones, what stones you need. Even though looking back on it now, it's pretty obvious, like Thunderstone. I wonder who that would go to. But...
that was the other. Oh, go ahead.
The other one that when I was thinking back on like which ones I remember having, because the Pokemon one, was probably a 1/4 inch thick.
Oh yeah.
As far as the actual guide goes. But the other one I had when I got I think it was PS2 or something early on, or I can't remember when Skyrim came out, but I had the Skyrim one, and that thing was like a college book.
I'm sure.
It was massive.
Because I can't imagine the people that had to write these things, like develop the guide magazine, because you would have to go through the game, take screenshots of the game, and then organize it in a way that would be helpful to everybody. Like that wouldn't be fun, I don't think.
No, like playing a game and writing every little detail down while you're doing it sounds like the opposite of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I remember that, like, when you went to EB Games or GameStop, that was always like their extended warranty pitch, basically. Like,
free.
Oh, you're gonna get Zelda. Are you gonna get the strategy guide with it for $15?
Dude, there's a really cool documentary on Netflix. I always forget the name of it, but it's basically about the history of video games. And there used to be a Nintendo guideline or like hotline that you could call to like get someone to help you with a game that you were playing when NES was first out. Yeah, so you could be you could be a Nintendo Power like official guide that you worked there, and people would call you and ask you about a random game. But the documentary shows it in a really cool way, because they're like, we had no idea, like, someone calls up about a random game that there was no guide. We were building our own guides as we worked there and played there. So we were kind of drawing out our own maps of Zelda, and so people would call and everyone would have different answers for certain things. So it was like, dude, that is a cool job, but also very tedious, because someone calls you about a game that you would never play in a million years, and they're like, how do I get to level 3? And you're like, oh God.
Yeah. It's like being a fighter pilot and all the different, obviously we have our published TOs and tactics, but then everyone has their own technique on something, right? So it's probably similar as far as, well, my technique for beating this part is that.
Right.
This guy's technique is different.
Yeah, there's all kinds of people who tell you how to beat games in a certain order, especially somewhat open world games, but
yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I wish I still had some of these lying around. It would be kind of cool to look back into them from the old games, at least. They still make them, obviously, but you can get everything online nowadays, so I don't know why you would pay for these. Kids probably are still all about this, I'd imagine.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, and if you're, especially as a young person, if you're sitting on the couch playing PS5 now, it's kind of difficult to like look at your phone, or unless you have a laptop next to you. So why not spend the money, and then you just have this hard copy just sitting there in your lap, and you can run through the game pretty quick.
Maybe that's what I'll do for my kid when he's old enough to play video games, so that I don't have to give him a cell phone or an iPad.
Yeah. There you go. Now all the information you need in life is in books, son.
Yeah, it's in. Check out this encyclopedia and this guide to Legend of Zelda.
All right. Yeah, you Swift, tell us about the Contra Code. Do you use this bad boy?
Yeah, not really. I just remember it. It's just like, I think when I was looking up old school cheat codes, this is like the most famous one that everybody knows from back
Yeah.
in the day. So I think like literally the quote is arguably one of the best and most famous cheat code inputs.
Yeah. What did it
So
do? I don't even remember. Did it make you invincible?
In Contra?
Yeah.
I don't know actually.
Anyways.
That's
Chat,
a
if
good
you know,
question.
tell us. I'm gonna Google it though.
Yeah, so there's a bunch of other games out there that have invincible god modes and full money, full materials. Well, I remember another one I used a lot was Roller Coaster Tycoon. I would just give myself max money and then build whatever I want.
You got 30 extra lives in Contra. So it's actually, some people refer to it as the 30 lives code.
So that's not even like, that game is so hard that wouldn't even
It's not even that much.
not give you enough, but I think you only had 3 lives in that game. It was why it's so damn hard. Cool. You guys remember any other ones? I'm trying to think.
Dude, the big ones for me was just not even cheat codes, just altering the image like on NFL Blitz or NHL Hits. You know, you could
Yeah.
have the large football or the guys running around with big nuggets, or you could make everybody mascots. I mean, those are the ones that I use more than anything as far as just like making the game look funny.
Big Eats has up, down, left, right, hold A, press start was Sonic cheat code that allowed you to pick any level you wanted to play without having to progress through the whole game.
Yeah, see, that has to be for like a developer purposes, right? Like they need to be able to test every level. So here's the code.
Yeah. I remember in GoldenEye 007, I remember asking my friend, like, because when we went over and played N64 at his house, he had like, because you could select the mode like DK mode or paintball mode and stuff. And he had like 10 more than me. So I was like begging him to try to remember how you unlock all the rest of those, like golden gun only and that kind of stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, the other big one I remember is in NBA Jam. You could be infinitely on fire. Doesn't matter how you're doing. I mean, obviously at that point you're doing pretty good because you can jump from center court and dunk on people. But
yeah, do the 2 double front flip dunk.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I thought those were really fun doing all the random modifying basically, but built into the game to make it look goofy or crazy. Well, cool. So now that is the early innocent, happy-go-lucky version of cheating back in the day. And now we're of course, humanity has taken something that was fun and turned it into something terrible. So what do we deal with nowadays is hacking, wall hacks, aim bots, all kinds of stuff, right? So the first time I remember encountering any sort of cheating was in the original Counter-Strike. I logged into a game, and every time you would spawn, someone would just snipe you in the head with the AWP, like just auto-aim to your head, and be like, oh, this is fun. And then people started making like all hacking only matches. I'm like, why? How is this fun? Everyone's just dying instantly.
Yeah. I remember the Xbox was the first time I had experienced that. I think it was Halo 2. No, maybe Halo Combat Evolved, where like people were always invincible with overshields and stuff. Oh man, that was it was life-changing for me because I was just like, why would you waste your life doing this? And also you're a terrible person.
Yeah, that's where I first started realizing like I hate gamers as a whole. But
and Zarisk in the chat says because we totally glossed over this one, but he's absolutely right. Screen lookers or screen peekers.
That's right.
The OG cheaters.
Original cheaters, dude. Special place in hell for anyone who looks at Mario Kart and sees that I shot a red shell and uses a banana right at that time.
That's right. Yeah, that's the original, like when you have the split screen. But I remember LAN parties where you would have to position your TV and your Xbox at the certain spots
angle
so nobody could see it.
Yeah, if you're screen cheating on like a separate someone's other screen because you're having a LAN party, that is a special kind of.
If anyone from my high school is listening to this, I know you guys screen peeked me.
Yeah, you could
Sons
know
of
it was
bitches.
happening because you were also screen peeking them, and you would see.
Yeah, that's right.
So he's looking at your screen, I'm looking at his screen. The reticle's on your nugget, and he ducks. Come on, I know what you're doing, dude.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, we didn't even think about that, but that is funny. I saw this.
Yeah.
There was this thing that someone was selling way back in the day, but it was a anti-screen cheating 4 split panel that you strapped onto your TV, and you'd have to sit. Each person would have to sit like low left, low right, stand high right, high left, and so you couldn't screen cheat. But
That thing reminds me just a little connection to the fighter pilot world. So back in the old fighter jets, the Mirage F1, a French one, the radar was the screen was like really dim and they couldn't see it in the daytime. So instead of like fixing it, the French decided they would make this big long tube that would go to the pilot's face, and you would like stick your face into the tube so that you were looking into like this dark tube so that you could actually see the radar. That's kind of what that screen peek thing that I've seen looks like.
God, that sounds really safe.
Yeah, you just put your face into this black container.
Well, cool beans. Nowadays, every time you log into a battle royale game, there's a high chance that you encounter at least one or two, or everyone that you play against who kills you, hacker, aimbotter, right? So I've actually never died to a legitimate player in Fortnite. They're all using aimbot.
They are, yeah. I've reported every single person that ever killed me.
Uh,
So do you guys consider... Oh, go ahead.
At least to the conversation of the difference between, I guess we won't necessarily go into this now, but there is a difference between like straight up hacking, cheating, and like using an exploit. Like
that's what I was going to ask you just now.
Yeah. Weird. Same wavelength.
That's right.
You must be are you screen peeking?
That's right. I am. Do you remember in Halo 2, there was one where you could like walk into a wall, stay crouched, and then jump, and it was like the super jump?
Yeah,
glitch.
super bouncing. I used to do it with my buddies, and we used to use it to an exploit. So I'll tell you, finish your point, but don't let me forget how we use this because
I just remember thinking like, it's like the guy. You know, when you think about like an invention, you're like, who would ever think of that? That I had that same like realization with that super bounce, because it was pretty intricate. You had to like crouch, walk into a wall a certain way, and then crouch the rest of the way, and crouch walk, and then jump to a certain spot, and then you would spring up into the air. I was just like, who has zero other things in their life than to figure this out?
Yeah, there must be people with some sort of like programming game knowledge who can kind of test games and figure out those kind of things, because I wouldn't even know where to. I think we remember having that conversation. How does someone figure out how to super bounce? Because it's weird. But we would go into like skirmish games or big team battle, and we'd wait for it to be a bomb game. And in Halo 2, as long as someone possessed the bomb, the game would never end. And so what we would do is we would get the bomb guy to do a super bounce somewhere.
You son of a bitch.
And it would go out of the map, right? And so he would just hide up there until the people just quit and we would win, right? But it was mostly...
So you forced everybody to quit?
It was mostly for the memes. So there was this one match where, remember, you could hear other people talk, the enemy talk, when you were close enough. So it got to the point where like they knew what we were doing, and so they'd be like, we're never leaving this game. You're never going to stay in this game longer than us. And so we ended up... having someone just stay up there, crouched, he put a rubber band on his controller so he would keep moving, so he wouldn't get kicked out for not moving.
Jeez.
And we all went to In-N-Out. We ate burgers and fries and came back like 45 minutes later, and the game was still going. And
you said you hate gamers, and you are the person.
Not only did we do that, but we even made of clan / gamer tags called Hide the Bomb 1, Hide the Bomb 2, Hide the Bomb 3, Hide the Bomb 4. And we all had the same logos. And so we started becoming famous, and they ended up fixing that in a patch, but it was good times, boys.
You are the worst.
And
you're that guy.
But they did leave. They lied. They left after about 4 hours. So
dang.
But all we had to do, because they kind of knew how to super jump too, But all we had to do was like guard the spot where they were trying to do it from. But it was good times. Miss you guys, Hide the Bomb Clan.
The only other thing that I can think of
They're
as
all in
far as
prison.
like exploits versus cheats, like obviously we run into dudes with walls, and we tried to find some like video / pictures of what that looks like for the people in the chat. Although I'm pretty sure most of the people in the chat have probably encountered it / seen it. But there are certain differences. Even exploiting, I don't even think this is as bad as the super jumping or super bouncing. But like there was a skin in Call of Duty that came out with one of the seasons. It was the level 100 battle pass. He had like feathers on his back when we were still playing Call of Duty. But until enough people complained, for the majority of that season, that skin was invincible outside of not invincible, literally invisible outside of about 25 meters.
Oh,
You could
yeah.
be running around. You could be running around doing whatever and shooting people, and they never even saw you. All they could use to try to aim was your bullet fire, right? But that's not cheating. That's just messed up on Call of Duty's part. They screwed that up. So of course I'm going to use the skin if I have it available.
Yeah, exploits are kind of weird because there is a loophole in a lot of the end user license agreements that say like if you do anything that the developers didn't intend and then you take advantage of it like repeatedly, they can ban you. So like there were people who were banned in Heroes of the Storm for taking advantage of like a bug in a ability that did triple damage or something just because it was a bug. And how did people figure this out? I don't know, but yeah, so just be careful. Final Fantasy is big about that on their online game 14. Like if you exploit certain things to your benefit that the developers didn't intend, they can ban you, which is kind of interesting.
Well, we're probably going to do a evil hacker, like Dark Side of Gaming episode at some point. But I will say, since we're talking about it, the biggest compliment you can receive as a gamer is being accused of hacking when you're not.
Doesn't that just make your ego grow? Like you kill someone, you hear the death come, and they're like, oh, he's hacking for sure.
Speaking of which, proximity chat was probably one of the best things that happened in the 2000s. And I don't know why they got rid of it in so many games.
Because gamers are toxic. But
That's right.
well, anyways, one last thing to talk about. Oh, go ahead.
Wait, once Big Eat said talking about Swiftmida getting his COD account banned.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. You must have been exploiting.
Exploiting, not cheating. It's fine.
I wasn't doing any such things.
Yeah, wasn't your kill death ratio like point something?
Yeah, it wasn't even
like 0.8 something. Like not even good.
Clearly cheating.
Yeah, you don't have to actually be cheating to get banned for cheating, by the way.
Yeah.
Cool. You guys remember internet walkthroughs? Dude, there was one point where I had bookmarked on Mozilla Firefox what the walkthrough for the water dungeon in Ocarina of Time.
Oh yeah.
I would go to askjeeves.com all the time and say, hey, how do I beat this?
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Jeeves, nice. Lycos, remember Lycos?
Yeah, Lycos. Dogpile.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I got to the point where like I was using these so much that today I purposely avoid any sort of spoilers or walkthroughs or anything because I'm like I'm not even experiencing the game like natively. I'm living through this guide.
Yeah.
There's a healthy balance because games can get very annoying or like make you want to quit them if they're too difficult, but you definitely don't want to just like follow. I mean, you're just following a checklist at that point.
Yeah, I remember in World of Warcraft heyday there was tons of like maximize your leveling guides, like how to go from zone to zone and level as fast as possible
in the quickest way.
Right.
Yeah.
And professions as well. It's like, so why are you playing this game as if you're not really experiencing the content?
Because it's all about getting the end game, dude.
Yeah.
Nobody really knows.
That's all it is.
And then you get to end game and you look up how to maximize my end game rating. Yes.
Yeah.
What am I doing?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Elden Ring is one of those games that I've specifically like made myself not look up anything. I'm just gonna flounder until I figure it out, to my detriment. But yeah, did you look up anything for Elden Ring, Swift?
No, I haven't.
Nice.
I honestly haven't played in a little while. It might get to that point where I'm just like, maybe just take a peek at this one part and see.
Yeah.
But that's a slippery slope, because then when you get to the next hard part, you're like, yeah, maybe I could just take another look. And,
Yeah, just
Little
read the first
pixies.
paragraph.
yeah.
Biggie said he used to go to his mom's work to print out 200-page walkthroughs from her computer. I do slightly remember stuff like that as well.
That's embezzling or something.
Yeah. Fraud, waste, and abuse.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's about it, folks. You got anything else to say about guides or cheating, or we'll try to keep it light and quick this week, but you got.
Now don't cheat and don't hide with the bomb like a freaking Satan, like a demon.
I'm telling you, that was the most fun gaming memory ever. Like, we're literally
Okay,
sitting
Satan.
at In-N-Out talking about these nerds who won't give up. Nice. Cool. All right, guys, let's get into what we played this week. All right, I'll lead us off because I had a fun gaming week. All right, so I beat, and Swift is probably going to be in the same boat, and let the record show he finished the game before I did, but I've officially beat the main storyline of God of War, and hashtag no spoilers, but the ending twist is mind-boggling. Like, I was not expecting anything like that, which is cool.
The next game is going to be so fun.
Yeah.
Did you go back to your house yet?
No. Something.
Oh, go
cool.
back to your
Yeah.
house for that cutscene.
Apparently that leads into the next game. I haven't done it yet either. I haven't logged back in and
Okay.
since I beat it. But
I was going to ask you because I was kind of like, okay, they left a little spoiler or like a little cliffhanger sort of, but there's no like who's the main boss of the next game, like interlude or anything.
Oh yeah,
so-
just go back home really quick.
Okay, cool. I'm guessing I'm going to see Thor or something, but cool beans.
No, it's Swift's mom.
Got him.
got him.
Nice, but yeah, that game. All I can say, I'm gonna get back in there and beat the Valkyries, and I did have some goals of 100%ing it because I've never actually 100%ed anything. So I was wondering if my first one should be on the Steam Deck.
No, Astrobot for sure.
Oh yeah, I did 100% VR Astrobot because that game's awesome.
Nice.
Cool. After that, I got into some Elden Ring. I'm still trying to find my way through this stupid arcane castle university thing. I think I'm close to the end boss, but we'll see. That game needs a walkthrough, like more than any other game I've ever played, because there's no like rhyme or reason to how you find your way through the dungeons. Some of them are linear, but other ones are just like, I don't know where to go. You can go in circles very easily in that game.
You gotta make your character nude, and then it'll be easier.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, that's what all the pros do.
That's what they've requested for the
Mortuary Assistant.
Mortuary Assistant as well. So
Jeepers.
seems to be the theme of video games. All right, I new one I tried this week with the kid on the PlayStation. Crash Bandicoot 4 was free. I picked that up, and that
Nice.
is a grand old time. Much easier than the remastered version of the old games, but still very challenging for like a adult gamer. So Liam's loving it because it's colorful and cartoony, and he is reminiscent of Spyro that he plays on his Switch. He's like, oh, and I think it's made by the same people actually.
Nice.
But it's a really cool game if you like the old Crash Bandicoot games. Follows the same formula, but get the containers, get the apples, get the gems, do it. But it's fun and it looks really good.
Did you know you can play the entire first Crash Bandicoot game on the newest Uncharted game?
Excuse me?
So Nathan Drake in the game Uncharted, I forget what the newest one is, but you can sit down on a couch and play the original Crash Bandicoot game.
It's a game within a
inside
game.
the game. Yeah.
Where do we go from
That's
here?
wild.
Has science gone too far?
So if we're in a simulation, let's just say we are, and I happen to play Uncharted, and then I start playing Crash Bandicoot in there. We're 3 levels deep.
Yeah. There's
Yeah,
no
that's
turning
true.
back now.
Yeah. All right, cool.
There it is.
I lost
Imperial Rhinos is Uncharted 4.
Nice. I lost my totem, so we're screwed. All right. Got a little more Spider-Man. I'm trying to teach Liam how to swing through the city because he wants to walk everywhere, which takes like 5 hours
Oh
to
gosh, yeah.
because he just can't figure out the swinging. But yeah, there you have it.
You literally have to go across the city walking there. It sounds horrible.
He's 5 years old, man. 4 years old.
Just
Yeah.
the lamest Spider-Man you ever did see.
But I don't want to I don't want to be a jerk and be like, no, just swing and let me do it for you. Give me that. So I'm like,
Yeah.
hey Liam, why are you walking when you could swing on your webs really fast across the whole city? He's like, look at this car. So,
It'd be like if he was playing an Iron Man game and he's just like driving to work or something.
yeah, exactly. Cool. Played some Fortnite. Got a couple clutch victories because I'm the best, and some Heroes of the Storm.
Wait. Hold on, about those victories. When did those happen?
Well,
Specifically?
I had one with you, but
No, we had two.
I had a duos win with Craig, and I had a solos win by myself. So
Yeah.
what's up? Other than that,
Nice.
just Heroes of the Storm with the bros trying to get ready for the season, and it's going to be rough, but we'll have some growing pains. We won't quit halfway through the season this time, and it's going to be great. So join us next week, Thursday night, probably I think it's at 9 or 10 Central, and we'll be streaming here. You can watch us.
I
lose
scheduled
that
it
game.
for the only day I'm night flying.
Yeah, strategic.
That hurts.
We have 7-man roster, so we only need 5.
Sheesh.
Cool. That's what I played. Swift, what'd you get into?
So much more of a gaming week this past week than the previous week. So I tried. I know we talked about it last week, but tried Arcadegeddon on the PS5, and I got to tell you, playing basically a first-person / third-person shooter on controller versus my keyboard mouse, it's rough. I gotta get back in there and practice. It's so bad.
I did the same, man. I look like I've never played a video game before now with a controller on a first-person shooter.
Seriously, that's how I feel. It's so bad. Even aim assist, like I'll be slewing my gun across somebody, and it even sticks there, and then I still manage to slew it too far and shoot and miss. I mean, it's just bad. So I gotta get my skills back up on controller.
Yeah, something happens to you when you go to mouse and keyboard of your understanding of like how game aiming works. Because I know exactly what you're talking about. Like the game aims for you slightly, but you screw it up somehow, which is really
Yeah, it's bad. So I don't know. I played like the tutorial. Didn't really get into the game as a whole yet. We talked about it already. I beat God of War. I haven't done the Valkyries. I haven't been back home yet, so I'm excited to do that and beat the Valkyries at some point. But like you said, the ending at the very end when Boy touches the wall and all that stuff happens. I literally had goosebumps just like watching the scene, and the ending reveal is awesome and crazy. So if you haven't played God of War 4, you don't need to play the previous ones. I would recommend all of them, but get in there and try it because it's an epic game.
It's so
Swift
cool
to beat
that
the,
as a whole.
Go ahead.
To beat the Valkyries, you may have to venture into the Mist world and get some better equipment.
Yeah, we'll see.
It's so cool that video games can make a grown 35-year-old fighter pilot get chills and almost cry. It's awesome.
Dude, it is. It was a phenomenal ending. Something I did not see coming.
Turns out his name is not Boy. That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
Atreus.
Cool. After I beat God of War, I went downstairs to the PS5 and started playing Horizon Zero Dawn. I know I'm a little behind the power curve on that game. But overall, I just think the story seems interesting. I'm interested to see where it goes. It's a massive world, so I'm sure there's a lot of learning involved as far as the mechanics and the story goes.
You're
The
playing
visuals are
you're playing the first one, right?
the first one, yeah.
Okay, dope.
So learning the mechanics of that. Obviously, it's a little bit different on controller than God of War. Some of the do the same thing are different buttons, so it's taken a little bit to get used to that. Overall, I think the visuals are really cool. Fighting robots and the world is beautiful, but it's so funny. And I know this game was made a few years ago, so no spears overall. But when you get into like a 1v1 conversation with an NPC and their jaw is like offset and the lips are like moving, but not really, like it's the graphics when you're like having a conversation with somebody specifically, they're not great.
I wasn't sure where you were going to go with that, but then I instantly remembered exactly what you were talking about.
Yeah. I thought it was pretty funny. Cool. Other than that, played some HOTS. Again, just like you mentioned, getting ready for the season. Played not really a video game, but Quiplash last night. We had some people over.
Nice. Quiplash is great.
Quiplash on the TV. It gets a little bit more aggressive sometimes than I think some people like, but it's all part of the fun.
Swift, did you know that you can make your own Quiplash decks?
No.
Oh yeah, it is awesome. We made some in our previous squadron, and it was mainly making fun of. Well, never mind. But yeah, it's good.
That's hazy.
Cool. And then the last one that I played, because I was like, man, I need to find kind of an obscure game because I haven't played one in 2 weeks. So
Swift's obscure game of the week is
here it is. I got I wouldn't say recommendation, but the idea from Big Eats in the chat. So I played some lawn mowing simulator.
Oh baby! You picked that up on Epic.
Interesting. Yeah, on Epic. Quite interesting. I did like the little tutorial. It's very weird because the controls are kind of difficult on key and mouse. But I started to figure it out. I started the career mode and did my first
old lawn mowing career.
Did my first lawn mowing job. I know we haven't really mentioned it, but you want to talk about a speed run. They projected 26 minutes to mow this lawn. I did it in 18. No big deal.
You must have mowed lawns as a kid.
Yeah, I took a lot of techniques from working at the golf course most of my teenage years. So used those techniques.
Were you mulching or were you bagging?
Perfection. No. I bought the expensive lawnmower that just basically there's no mulch or anything. It just
nice,
is good.
Dude.
Yeah, and then you have to go around and weed whack on the edges where you can't get to with the lawnmower, because if you clip a flower, then you get fined. Yeah, it's not good.
That's like the old ladies I used to mow for.
Yeah, and Craig in the chat says, "Dude, that game is much harder than it looks." It actually is kind of difficult, but overall, it's exactly what you think it is. And you're probably thinking to yourself in the chat or when you're listening, so you mowed fake grass for 18 minutes. And yes, I'll never get that 18 minutes back in my life. So I probably won't go back to it. Just wanted to try it out and see what it was about.
How are the visuals?
It's pretty good. It's nothing crazy.
How's the grass technology like? Does it look?
It waves.
Can you smell and the fresh cut grass in your mind when you're playing?
Oh, in my mind, I absolutely can. But when you cut it, it actually cuts, so you can find the line to to basically walk it in from the outer bounds. Is the technique that I went with there for 18 minutes. So
yeah, that's a technique.
I think they had a missed opportunity. You shouldn't be able to start out with like the Gucci lawnmower. You should have to start as a teenager with like a push to prime pole start, like ancient thing that your grandpa handed down, and
Yeah, right.
it's a 2-stroke engine, and you got to put oil in it, and
Yeah, mix the oil with the gas.
yeah, because that's
No,
where I
I'll
started.
be honest.
That's right.
The lawnmower I bought, I only had $3,000. The lawnmower I bought because I didn't want to mulch and bag and all that stuff. And plus, if you buy, there's one lawnmower where you start out where it kicks the grass to the side, and then you have to be careful not to get it on sidewalks and in flower beds and all that standard stuff.
Oh yeah.
So I purged. I spent like $26.50 on my lawnmower, and then just got the cheap weed whacker.
Is this a ride along?
You should definitely start as a teenager.
Is this a ride-in mower?
Yeah, it's a riding mower.
Yeah, see, you don't know what it's like out there. For
Put your
real.
back
Dude,
into
I'm starting a career. I can't start with the mechanical one with the blades that spin. You remember that thing?
Yeah, you had to
That's the
sharpen
tax
the
write-off.
blades, or else it wouldn't cut the grass.
Yeah.
And then the grass couldn't get too long, or it wouldn't cut the grass.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Nice, dude. Well,
Yeah,
that's
so
good.
that's my kind of obscure game for this week.
Cool. If you're into simulators, get into the lawn mowing simulator. That probably could be Zen if you're looking for a chill experience. But
Oh, I forgot to mention, there's actually seriously, if you like the game, I know Big Eats said that's what he wants to do when he gets out of the Air Force, just mow lawns. If you enjoy it, cool. There's also 2 expansion packs available. You can mow lawns in ancient Britain or in a dino safari.
oh boy,
So there you go.
dude, I wonder how your career ends. Like, do you get hired by the Astros to take care of the the grounds?
Yeah, who knows?
Nice. Well, cool. Nice. If you want if there's another game you want Swift to check out that's a little obscure or weird or scary, go ahead and reach out to us at OMG_podcastGG on Twitter or Instagram and let us know what he should try out next. All right, PickleMatt, what'd you get into?
I'm just imagining the developers for Lawnmower Simulator. They're like, we need expansions. Let's think of ideas. And this guy was just like, listen to this shit. We are going to have a dino safari lawn mowing. Okay, cool. Metal Former in the chat. Swiftmida and ImPickleMatt and theStroke pure synergy. Keep the band together. Thanks. That's 1 vote for keeping me on the show.
And only
Keep
one.
them coming. What's up, Liam?
Hey, Liam.
We have a guest star on the show. Liam's joining us.
Liam, what'd you play this week?
Liam, what are you playing? Liam's playing Super Mario Run on the iPad.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Nice. Cool. What I played a little bit of Fortnite, and immediately after logging in, I finally got Stroke his first victory, and played a little bit of HOTS to practice for the boys, and then was promptly scheduled out of the first match for the season. So that's cool.
Yeah, let's
I will
try
not
out.
be there for the first one. Yeah. Play a little Arcadegeddon with not just doing the tutorial, just like Swift said, but I am ass at first-person shooters now on the console, like he said. I used to be really good, but it's gone now. And then finally, almost forgot, but I did play the Mortuary Assistant, the demo on Steam. And I streamed it, but I didn't have my settings set up correctly, so it didn't record it. But I think I may get the full game, not because I like it that much, but because it's a very well done horror game. Like, you can tell that this guy, the developers of this, I think it's pretty small dev team, but they did a really, really good work with the horror portion of this. And I think it'll be funny to watch me stream it. So it's gotten really, really good reviews. I might do it, boys. I don't know. I'm thinking about it.
If you would love to see PickleMatt do the activities associated with being a mortuary's assistant, go ahead and let him know, and follow him on Twitch and watch as he goes live, because I will not be joining.
Dude, they nail every like horror movie, like scary part of every horror movie that's ever happened in that game. So I'm impressed by what they did, but it sucked playing it by myself at night.
You're a big horror movie or horror game guy. Do you like horror movies? Yeah,
I'm off and on about horror movies. I'm not really like, I don't know. I think I got into horror games because of Resident Evil VR. I was just so impressed with how terrifying and like how realistic it was for what it was. You know what I
like
mean?
adrenaline inducing.
Yeah, it's impressive what they can do.
Nice. Well, cool. We might have to do an episode on horror games since we got Pickle Matt
I
here.
don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Big
Well,
Eats
I'll definitely. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. Big Eats in the chat just got to shout it out. He said he would get it too, but too many clothes for his liking.
God Almighty!
Oh my God!
I knew you wrote
guy
that.
Is so crazy.
I knew you wrote that review.
Yeah. He's gonna. Speaking of hacking, he's gonna get his Gameshark so he can get the nude cadavers or the nude bodies and mortuary.
No, God. All right, folks, there you have it. That's what we played this week, and that'll pretty much round out the episode for the week. Thank you for joining us, as always, in the chat and listening across the world. We are slowly growing, and if you would like to help us continue to do that, the best thing you can do is go and leave a review on whatever media outlet that you use to listen to podcasts. So Apple Podcasts, you can leave a 5-star review if you like what you heard, and go ahead and just leave us a comment, and we will read those comments weekly. We did not get one this week, but this is your chance to be the next one on the next episode of One More Game. Cool, boys.
And tell your friends. What are we 4 away on Twitch from being?
Like Twitch. You see that? See that follower goal? 46 out of 50. Go ahead, and if you haven't already, hit that little heart. And you can follow us. It'll send you a notification every time we go live, so you don't have to miss a single episode.
And you can always ignore the notification. Just give us a follow. You'll get, you'll see what's going on. And then twitch.tv/OMGpodcast. Just tell your friends about it. Don't be afraid to admit you're a nerd.
Yeah. It's cool. Everyone's doing it. Look,
everyone.
Even my son's playing video games.
46 people are.
Cool. All right, boys, around the room. What do you got?
Swift.
No.
Yeah, I was actually prepared for this week. So I just jotted down a little thought. I was like, I'll be honest, there have been times where I get stuck in a game in a certain spot, particularly in the past, where I reference a guide of some sort, whether that be online or, the books back in the day. Not a problem. Thanks, Paisley. Not necessarily a problem. Just don't be a hacker and use illegal things to make you seem good at the game just because you're not. Just be a good dude and adhere to the rules when you're playing with other people so you don't make it a horrible time for them. When you're playing one-on-one, reference whatever you need. Or by yourself, not one-on-one.
Yeah, why you would pay money to play a game without your own talent being put into it blows my mind, but to each his own, I guess.
Yeah, it's mind-boggling.
Yeah. All right. I'll give PickleMatt another second. I'll leave you with mine. So here you go. If you're ever going to use Gameshark, maybe don't use it on your 200-hour invested, almost got all the Pokemon Game Boy game, because you're going to regret it. You're going to regret it. This is my only life regret, actually.
That's it.
Yeah. All right, PickleMatt, what do you got?
Yeah, I was gonna say what Swift said. Don't be an asshole. Just be a normal person. You're wasting your life. You're wasting everybody else's life. Just stop. And I actually need to go do some lawnmower simulator of my own in real life. It's been 2 weeks since I've mowed the lawn, so I just thought about that. Thanks, Swift.
Make sure you go out and buy the $2,500 ride along.
Yeah.
When do I get a Roomba lawnmower?
They have those.
Dude.
They exist, but
Now we're
I can
talking.
imagine they're pretty terrible. Like,
That's how
seems dangerous.
That's how the machines start the uprising. The lawnmower.
That'd be a really fun. That would actually be kind of a cool video game if you're trying to develop your first one. You could do like a little house gadget uprising game.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be fun. Kind of like the what was it? Love, Death, and Robots episode.
Oh, I love that show.
Hey, did you watch Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse? Speaking of,
No.
Oh yeah, I was
get
gonna
to
ask
it,
you
dude.
that.
All right, I will.
to
I
it.
promise.
You gotta do it.
All right, folks. Thanks for joining us once again. You can find us at OMG_PodcastGG on Twitter and Instagram. Leave us your thoughts, your pictures, and you can find me streaming from time to time at twitch.tv/the__stroke, as well as on Twitter and Instagram. Swift is at twitch.tv/Swiftmida, and PickleMatt will be streaming the Mortuary Assistant. Go follow him at ImPickleMatt, twitch.tv/ImPickleMatt. You can find
It'll be less scary with all of us together, watching
go.
together
as a team.
It'll be fun. Yeah.
You can find more of our episodes on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or omgpodcast.podbean.com. And go ahead and share those, and we will...
I need to tell you something.
Yep.
It's almost out of time, but we got on the flag.
Oh, dude, high five. He clutched it. All right.
Dude, nice. 100% in Mario.
All right, guys, with that, we'll leave you with one final thought. Just because you have to grow up doesn't mean you should stop playing. Game on, gamers, and we'll see you next week on One More Game. Swift, PickleMatt, see ya!
See you guys.